Everyone. I'm Sandy Kent, and I'm the Executive Director of Oklahoma A+ Schools Institute. I would like to welcome you this morning, and we are happy to be bringing you Rejuvenate, an online inspirational event. We want this time together to be a celebration of you, the educators, the hard work that you always do, and particularly this year as you had to transition to distance learning, really at the drop of a hat. We also wanted to provide an online experience that's not your average meeting, giving you a platform for sharing and learning to rejuvenate yourselves as you head into this summer and also as you think about a new year and whatever that might bring. Also today, I want to say that Oklahoma A+ Schools has always believed and lived that our work is for everyone. Our heart aches for our Black community and colleagues, students, and schools, and we want you to know that we understand this is not a political issue, this is a humanity issue. Everybody deserves our respect, kindness, love, and justice. We're not perfect, but we sure work to support and serve everyone and to help promote and be the light for that justice. So let's keep that in mind today as well as we all work together to share this time for what we believe in. Right now, I'd like to ask you to find that blue packet that you received in the mail. We're going to do some things with that. This packet serves a couple of purposes for everyone. Some of you are part of the Oklahoma A+ Schools Network and are very aware of what we do. Some of you are new to us. And so we're going to talk a little bit about who we are. And in that packet, you had some cards. One was a card and you received that is a board member statement. Our board members are amazing people who are passionate about Oklahoma A+ and choose to advocate for our work for different reasons. And so you'll have a different person and hear their story and read it. These stories represent just a few of people that we could ask. We have a lot of stories of principals and teachers and students who have been impacted by the work. And we like to always share that voice because A+ means something different for different people, but it comes back to great education. You also have a card that talks a little bit about our impact that we've had for about 18 years now, and we continue to try to work to spread the word of what we do. It's amazing how A+ touches so many different people in different ways and for different reasons. So we'll refer back to these cards in a little bit, but you also received some plus blocks. Hold those up for me, let me see. And in fact, why doesn't everybody make sure you go to gallery view right now, because we're gonna do some things with these here in a minute. So you'll wanna do gallery view where you can go through and look at all the people on the screen and see what we are working on. So these little plus blocks, they tie to the back of this card where it tells you about thinking about a child you love. It might be a student, it might be your own child, a grandchild, somebody that you love, and thinking about what should education be for our kids and those kids we love, for all kids. What do we want to have happening in schools when we walk in every day, whether it's us creating it or we're sending them off to somebody else? So we want you to take these little blocks, and hopefully you've already opened them up. They can be a little tricky to do, but take these and dump them out because we're going to build together for a moment. Some of you may have already been building, and if you have, that's all right too. You can share that in a moment. But right now, what I want you to do is see, I'm going to give you 1 minute. We're going to time it 1 minute, and I'd like you to create today an R for Rejuvenate. So see if you can figure out your way to make an R for Rejuvenate today. And we'll share those in 1 minute. Ready, go. All right, our 1 minute timer has gone off. So now I'd like you to pick that up, and if you kind of lean in like this and hold it up to the side, we'll all be able to see what you created. So hold up your R's. Let's see what all of those wonderful R's look like. I see some capital R's, I see some lowercase r's. I'm going to flip through the screens here. I see lots of different colors and lots of different ways to make an R. Those are fantastic. It's so good to see all of this work. Thank you for sharing your R's and your creativity. So that's our first moment of sharing there. And I hope, take a look there at some of those. I hope you noticed, I did, that there were different colors. There were different sizes, there were different shapes, there were different approaches and processes, I'm sure. I could tell even just watching your heads down, you were thinking, and how do these pieces really work? And, to me, that's what's exciting about education and about when I was a teacher and as a principal, it was really important to me that we really celebrated the process, and that even when there's one right answer, I asked you to make an R, there were still multiple ways to get there. There were still multiple ways of what that R looked like, and that we could still celebrate and find that you were a learner and a creator that needs to be respected, and we need to know about each other. And that's what I want to do for kids, and that's what we all want to do, and that's why we're here today. So thank you for that. I want to ask each of you to participate now on social media with us as well, with those plus blocks. So back to that card, and again, I know some people already started this when you got the packet, but this gives you information about what we'd like you to do. We'd like you to think about those blocks, use them to build something. It could be your R if that's what you want to share, but use them to build something that represents good education, what you want for others and what you want for your kids and the teachers around you. Build something and represent that. Then post it on your favorite social media. A+ is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find us out there. We're going to put the hashtags also in our chat box. We'd like you to use the hashtag schools that work for everyone, because that's our goal, is that school works for everyone, all the children, all the teachers, everyone. Post that out there and tag us. Make your post public, because we want to share those and we want to flood everyone out there with what great education is. So let's demonstrate that together. Finally, you do have a little card in your packet also that looks like this. This is not a high pressure focus. This is about supporting A+. Again, if you are part of the A+ network, you know that we are a fully granted and funded organization. We go out to get the funds. We do all of this work for our A+ network schools at no cost. So when you come to a conference, any trainings we do, it's all at no cost. For other schools, we do it at very low cost, and we like to be able to continue doing that. We have some great partners who help us with some of the larger funding, but we do seek out other donations. This, again, not high pressure, but if you say, I've really enjoyed this, or I'd really like to make sure that A+ keeps going, and you feel like you'd like to, fantastic. Or you might say, you know what, I want to pass this packet along to somebody who needs to know there are great things going on in education and who are really interested in supporting education. Pass along our information and let them know about the great things we do. So as I wrap up, well, one more thing. I want to make sure that those that are not part of A+, I want to mention to you, you can learn more about us, and we welcome you to explore membership in A+. You can do so by letting us know that you're interested on your reflection form at the end of today. You can put something in the chat box. You can also email us, and we will put our email address in the chat box as well. So as I wrap up and hand this over to your amazing facilitators for the rest of your session today, I do want you to know that our board members, told you they're great people, that they've provided some gift cards for us today. It's anywhere from like $50 Amazon cards, Chick-fil-A cards, Walmart cards, a lot of neat things. We also have a pack of tickets to the Western Heritage Museum and Hall of Fame that one of our regional coordinators, Carrie, was able to secure for us. So we've got some great prizes today. And all of you, just by being here and participating, you have the opportunity to be entered into the drawing for those. There are 2 ways that you can be eligible to possibly receive. I think we have about 8 prizes, but you have 2 possibilities to receive those. One will be to fill out your reflection form at the end of the session today. And we're giving you a week to get that done. We hope you do it sooner. And the second is, if you build with these plus blocks and you tag us and you make your post public so we can share it and post it on social media by next Tuesday as well, that's another way to be eligible to receive one of those great prizes. Well, I think that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed hearing from our speakers. I hope that I know you're going to enjoy the rest of your active day with these wonderful facilitators. And right now, I would like to introduce you to Kelly Carter. She's going to be your lead facilitator for Rejuvenate today. Kelly?
Hi, everyone. I just want to say welcome again to our Oklahoma A+ Rejuvenate online event. We're so happy that you're here. We know that this is a little different than what we originally planned to do for our conference this year, and we're just so glad that you're here and that we get to spend this time with you this morning. I want to introduce you to the A+ fellows who are leading our early childhood event. So you're going to see each of us throughout the morning as we rejuvenate together, and we're going to do several different activities. We have Glenda Cook, Angela Martinez, Heather Pogue, Lashandria Redmond, Kimberly Takahashi, and I'm Kelly Carter. I'm going to pass the screen over to Kimberly, and she's going to go over some logistics with you before we get started with our other activities.
Good morning. I am going to start with sharing my screen and giving us the opportunity to start. I want to make sure that we point out or let you know that you need to be in speaker view, and that will give you your best vision today. So that way you can see everything. The essentials are components that frame all of our work. You received a copy of these in your conference packet as well as in your email. And if you'd like to take a closer look at these, please visit our website at www.okaplus.org. Please share in the chat box if you have any ahas. If you have a question that you need answered right away, aka burning questions, place it in the chat box. We have someone watching it and we'll get those shared. Today's conceptual questions to be thinking about are: how is change rejuvenating? How can A+ help you rejuvenate? For the next hour, we will have 3 simple activities that will be easy for you to replicate in your classroom or even virtually. We want to keep you rejuvenated and make this an experience you can enjoy. First, we will have rejuvenation object activity with Glenda, where you will be sent to a breakout room to share, so be prepared. Next, we would have one word with Heather, and for that one, you will need something to write with and something to write on. And at the end of that, you will also have time to share again in a breakout group. And for the last activity, you'll need room to move as we begin restoring yourself with Lashandria. Using your camera on your device, you can take a picture of the QR code to open up our reflection form. We'll share this again, so don't worry. We will also share the link in the chat. Please take pictures today and share them on social media. Tag us on your post using @OKA+, hashtag schools that work for everyone. And now let's get started with Glenda and rejuvenating objects.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you. And you know, we call our A+ conferences not your average conference. And we are experiencing a not your average conference right now, just like you experienced a not your average school year. And we're going to be experiencing not your average future. So we're going to focus in on those conceptual questions. We always have those big questions that can be interpreted in lots of ways and answered in lots of ways. And how is change rejuvenating? How can A+ help you rejuvenate? And we're going to zoom in a little bit with this activity and talk about you. How do you rejuvenate, and how do we help others rejuvenate? So what I would like for you to do is to find an object that's close by that can represent how you rejuvenate or how you help someone else rejuvenate. So look around you and see what it is that helps you refresh or renew or restore yourself. So finding that object, and then we're going to go, as Kimberly said, we're going to go to these breakout rooms, and they'll send us randomly. There'll be 3 or 4 people in your breakout room. And when you get there, take a minute to introduce yourself, tell your school and the city where your school is and what your role is at school, and then share your object and how it rejuvenates you. So we'll have a timer that's set for 5 minutes, so be cognizant of that and make sure everyone gets an opportunity to talk. And then you'll see a screen pop up that will have you come back to the whole group meeting. So if you have your object, how it restores you, how it rejuvenates you, then we will go to our breakout rooms. Okay, so since we're in such a big group, what we'd like to do is to hear from a few of you. Because of time, we can't hear from everyone. But if you either would like to share your object, or if you heard something that you want to remember or you'd like to share, then if you'll type the word speak into your chat box, then someone will recognize you and give you the opportunity to share. We can only take a few. We don't have a lot of time, so we'll take a few. And if you don't get to share, you can always type into the chat box and share that way.
Yay! We have Lori that would like to share.
Hi guys, I'm Laurie Gallagher from Yukon, and sorry, I just shared that I have been able to get outside a lot and plant. My children are home from college and my husband's home, so it's nice to get out and all plant things together, watch the new growth, see all that's happening in our neighborhood as other people are planting, and maybe for the first summer ever, I might actually keep some things alive because I might have a little extra time to do that. Succulents work really well for me because I have a hard time keeping those things alive, but it's been very rejuvenating to get out outside and spend time outside with my family, and just seeing that new growth as we plant things and check on them every day to see how they're growing. So that's all.
Glenda, I just see where people are. I think a lot of people have that same feeling right now. I know in my group, they also, we also shared a plant, so.
Well, in our group, we had like writing down your plans and making a planner, and going on a treadmill and walking on different places, and everything that was said, I thought, oh, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. That would rejuvenate me too. And the same thing with the plants, that rejuvenates me too. So we really have a lot in common, which is pretty cool. And as we do that, you know, thinking in terms of we do have a lot in common and what rejuvenates us and how do we pass that along to others, and just be thinking, you know, cognizant of the people around us and what rejuvenates them and how can we support each other as we look at rejuvenation and change. And so one other question is to think about this activity, the process of doing this activity. And I would like for all the participants to think about how would you use this in your practice? How could you use this with your students? So thinking of that, if there's someone who would like to share how this might connect to what you do at your school, then again, type speak into the chat. We're going to give it a second, and because your ideas might help someone else make a connection to it as well. So let's take a second and we'll see if we have some chats that you could share about how you would use this activity of rejuvenation.
Anna would like to share.
Hi, I teach pre-K, and I really do something similar with every day. Students bring in something that represents them or something they just want to share, and it also helps us to connect with them and know more about each other and where they come from and what these kids have in life. So I think it's a good way to connect with others and start building all those relationships and culture and everything that has to do with it.
I think that's great. And with the little ones, using that concrete object is something they could see and feel and touch, and it's a good way to share with them too. Thank you.
Dawn would like to share.
I teach special ed with early childhood, and I have a lot of children who have autism, and teaching them social skills and how to work with behavior. So, asking them things that make them feel good, things that make them, you know, things that calm them. So, that's one thing that would, I feel like this right here would benefit them. I don't know that they would understand Rejuvenate, but teaching them things that are going to make them, feel calm and happy is definitely something that would benefit them.
Absolutely. And that's a little bit of that mindfulness of being able to express how they feel and have a better understanding and a better control over that too. So that's great. Great idea. Do we have time? Maybe have one more. And then if you have your name in the speak column, then maybe we can just write down how you would share that with your practice.
Okay, we have Bridget who would like to share next.
Hi, I had shared something I had right on my table. I had a recycled 2 paper towel rolls and a almond milk container. I just like to use crafts and find things that I already have around the house and what students already have around them. I don't know about you guys, but my 7-year-old is always saying, I want this, I want that, I want this. And so finding things that we already have that we can turn and make into other things so that students can, not feel if they don't have certain things or want certain things, what can we use around us to create and make into something that we would want. So I think I teach pre-K as well, and just recycling and using old things to make into something new and make into something that we would want to play with and create with.
I love that. It makes me think of my granddaughter who says, don't throw that away. I can make something out of that. So we have all kinds of things around our house too that have been her creative expressions. So thank you for sharing that. That's a great idea that we can all use in our practices. All right. So again, go ahead and type some ideas into the chat. I think we're going to even record that. So that would be great to share your ideas and how you could use that in your practice, and everybody else read those things so that you can get some ideas too. So as we continue to reflect on the big idea of rejuvenation, Heather Pogue is going to help us put our thoughts into words. I hope you have some of your favorite art and writing tools handy. Thank you.
Good morning. Again, thank you for choosing to spend your morning with us. Please use a couple of minutes and grab your favorite writing tool and a piece of paper and take some time to jot down things or actions that come to mind with the words rejuvenate, restore, or renew. For the next 3 minutes while music plays, pick one item from your list and, using the materials around you, choose a way to represent the item by drawing, writing, or creating your representation of rejuvenation, restoration, or renewal as you think about color, shapes, and patterns. Go ahead and finish up that thought or idea. Thanks for your patience as we are moved to breakout rooms to show and share your creation. Don't forget to share your name and your role at your school with your new group. As we reflect about one word and thinking about how you could use it in your classroom and how it could rejuvenate, if you're willing to share with the whole group, please type speak in the chat box and we'll choose a couple of people to share. Feel free to use that box to share your thoughts as well.
Any you would like to share?
I think the word just made me think of having time and energy. I think that's something that I'm just missing a lot from my life right now. And so it just brought me back to thinking, you know, just taking time to be creative and to not be multitasking all the time, but to just be present. So that's what I was thinking of.
Courtney, I was going to say, I agree with that completely. I know that this has kind of made me have to stop and rethink some things because we're always going so fast, and that, you know, that having to stop, and that's wonderful.
Is anyone else willing to share?
Jamie would like to share.
Well, our group just talked about how this has all just been really hard, and maybe we're not okay. Maybe we do need each other more than we realize, and it's just a good time to reflect and realize that this has been really tough and something we've never had to go through.
Absolutely. We also have Berna who would like to share, Heather.
Hello. I just wanted to also say with the time that we've had off, and I'm agreeing with everybody else that you had time to do a whole lot of thinking, a whole lot of everything, and kind of embarrassed to say this, but you get so busy. I have had time to get to know my neighbors. If they lived on each side of me and across the street, I knew who they were. But other than that, I'd see them and wave and didn't know. I see more people walk in the neighborhood than I have ever seen in my life, including myself. So I would say that is a part of rejuvenation, and I see that all around me. So I think that everybody can probably kind of relate to that.
Thank you all for sharing. In my group, we talked about we were able to make connections, and I just was reminded about how important it is, how our creativity is fostered when we're able to share ideas and thoughts. So thank you all for sharing. Next, LaShandria is going to lead us through some movement and breathing exercises to help us restore ourselves.
Thank you, Heather. Well, good morning, everyone. Again, my name is LaShandria, and we are going to participate in some movement and breathing activities that will help us to restore ourselves and focus in on ways and tools that we can calm ourselves. So one of the key things that I love about A+ is one of the essentials is the arts, and dance is one of the art forms that we explore and that we use to express ourselves and for creativity, and also to help us connect with ourselves, connect with others, as well as it can help to calm us down. It can help us to uplift our spirits. And so today we are going to actually do movement that children can do. So basic movement that children can do that will help to release some energy, will help to calm the body and calm the mind, and also just to be able to just explore the space around us. And so one of the things that I love is that movement can help us to release stress. I know that for many of us, this has been a very difficult time. And so with movement, with breathing, we can really begin to release any negative energy that we have. We can begin to release any stress that we may be experiencing, and we can channel our breathing in a certain way, and we can focus our mind a certain way so that we can begin to restore ourselves and focus in on the positive aspects of our life. And so today we are going to participate in some movement. And as we do that, I really want you to focus in and think about, how is this rejuvenating me? And how can I use this in my personal life? How can I use this in my classroom with my students? And also, you are going to need an open space. And then for the second session, or the second part of our session, you are going to need a chair because we're going to come back to our chair and we're going to do some breathing activities with that. Also at this time, if you feel more comfortable with turning your video off, you are able to do that. And then one more thing is, I usually would use music if I'm doing this with students or if I'm doing this in person. But because of this particular setting, we're not going to use music. We're going to focus in on the words that you're going to hear, and we're going to focus in on our rhythm, the rhythm of our breath. And so, again, if there's something that you cannot do in your body, like physically, you don't have to do that movement. You just do whatever is comfortable for you, whatever you can physically do in your body. So at this time, I'm going to ask you to please stand up. We're going to go ahead and stand. And we're going to stand with our feet parallel position. We're going to ground ourselves and just relax into the floor. And we're going to start with a deep breath. We're going to inhale, take our arms up, and exhale slowly. And we're going to move our head side to side. So side to side. And up and down. And let's take our shoulders to the back. And take our shoulders forward. And we're going to do an alternating arm. You're going to take it to the back. Nice stretch, nice extension in the arm. And we're going to take it to the front. And let's go ahead and take those arms up. We're going to reach. As you hold it here and reach, go ahead and take some deep breaths in and out. And we're going to take it down to the ground. You're going to go as far as you can go. Reach it down. And let your head and arms just drop and melt into the ground. And bend your knees, and we're going to roll it up. That is the last thing to come up. All right, we're going to go into some cross lateral movements. So we're going to do opposite arm and knee. So we're going to cross and touch. Even as you do this, focus in on your breathing, in and out. Exhale through your nose. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. And let's take it up and down. We're gonna go into some taps. Just gonna continue to wake up our body. So we're gonna tap our head and shoulders and thigh and head and shoulders and thigh and head and shoulders and thigh. Good. Let's take one more deep breath in. Inhale. And exhale. All right, we're going to circle our head. So we're going to make it go in a complete circle. Take your time. You really want to stretch out the muscles in the neck, the muscles in the shoulders. And opposite direction. Opposite. All right, we're going to take it over to the side. And stretch. And to the other side. And stretch. Okay, this next movement, if you are unable to do the lunge, it's okay. Just focus in on the upper body parts. Moving, you can sit down in your chair and you can do the upper body parts if you cannot do the lunge. We're going to take our body forward into a forward lunge. Our arms are going to come up by our ears, and we're going to hold it here. Focus on your breathing. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to take those arms to the side. Again, inhale and exhale. And scoop it down. We're going to come to the other side. Forward lunge. We're going to take those arms up by the ears. Feel the stretch. Feel the release. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And let's take those arms to the side. And scoop it down. And we're going to take those arms down. All right, for this next part, we are going to sit in our chair for a comfortable seating position. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to go into a cat-cow position. So we're going to arch our back and take our chin up to the ceiling. As we inhale and exhale, we're going to release that, round out our back, take our chin to our chest. And let's do that again. Inhale, chin up to the ceiling. And exhale, chin to our chest. do it one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now we are going to take our arms up. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Last one, we're going to drop our arms down, our head down. We're going to take our upper body and bend it. Let everything just fall and melt. And we're going to roll that up. Now I'm going to ask you to sit back in your chair and relax with your eyes closed the whole time as you listen to these words and focus in on your breathing. So we're closing our eyes and we're keeping them closed. We're going to take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Keep focusing in on your breathing. Allow your stomach to fill up like a balloon. And then exhale slowly. Your body is relaxing. Keep focusing on your breathing. Now imagine you're a beautiful butterfly, fluttering high in the sky. You see a lovely green valley below you with lots of colorful flowers, just waiting for you to enjoy. As the wind touches you, it gently blows away any worries, any stress you feel. Feel how wonderful it is to be free. Your mind is clear and calm. You are completely peaceful. You are flying free in the wind. Take in a deep breath and exhale it slowly. And when you are ready, open your eyes and we're going to give our body a big stretch. So we're going to take our arms up. And extend them back and down. So at this time, I would like for us to do a little bit of reflection and processing. So I have some questions that I would like to give you to think about. So the first one is, how did you feel before the activity? And how do you feel now after the activity? And if there's anyone that would like to share, if you could please type speak in the chat box and we will call on you.
I hope I'm pronouncing this right. It says Quincella Ivy, and she said before she felt very tight. Quincella actually would like to share. If you would like to go ahead and share real quick. Thank you, Julie.
Hello. Well, my grandchildren and I, when we did the activity, And at first I was thinking it wasn't going to work out, like, oh my goodness. But it was really nice, but they were better than I was. And so, but, they was doing the stretching, and so we really enjoyed it. And so we think this is something that we will include in our activity, because I felt tight before my shoulders, and I'm kind of anxious anyway, but just the shoulder roll, and I could just feel like all that tense just release. I could just feel it just with each breath. It seems like it just went away, and it just went farther or deeper, I guess, like a deeper like a deeper relaxation in my shoulders or whatever. I enjoyed it.
Yes, well,
And
thank you.
and they enjoyed it too.
Well, that is awesome. That is
Thank
great.
you.
Yes, that is wonderful. I'm glad that you said you're going to start using it, incorporating it, and you can see the benefit of it. Awesome.
And I love too, I mean, she instantly said the kids were better than her. That's how I feel every time I do something like this with them. They get it, I don't, and I'm like, oh, look, I thought I was feeling silly, but they are so much better than I am. We have April who would like to share real quick.
Hi, some of the comments, I thought I was okay and not tense before, and Lashandria's voice was so calming, and it was odd. It made me realize how good it felt to do it with everyone else. Trying to exercise or stay calm at home. It made me realize how much I've missed being around people and missed my people and the kids and people at my school, and just to have somebody there to help you go through it was really nice. So thank you.
Oh, yes. Awesome. Thank you. I want to point out too, and I think Glenda had put it in the chat box, but the connection between our mind and our body, like it's such a huge, like everything is all connected. Our mind, our body, our spirit, our emotions, like all of that is connected. So when we can find an outlet, like if we're stressed or we're anxious, and if we can find a way to, even with ourselves and in helping our students, find a way to release that negative energy or that stress, or, find that outlet to be able to just release all of that and open ourselves up to the good things that we want to be able to receive and enjoy. I mean, it's such an awesome thing to be able to do. So, well, I have one more question, and I think many of you probably have already touched on it or already know, but how might something like this benefit your students?
I was going to mention, it looks like Twilla also said, this is why I include this in my classroom every day. We always listen to Jack Hartman. They also love Baby Shark, this opportunity to be silly, to make them feel good. Plus, it makes children reach with you better.
Yes, absolutely. That's
and Deborah
awesome.
mentioned that we need this so much right now. And thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you.
And,
well,
oh, sorry, Lashondra.
Oh,
it's like when two of us are talking, we're just going back and forth. I was just going to say, there's so many people who keep mentioning about how, they felt like they didn't realize how anxious or how much tension they had in their body until doing something like that. It's just calming and it resets them. And Julie mentions that they love Go Noodle, focus activities, Cosmic Kid Yoga on YouTube. That is like my go-to also, Julie.
Yes. Awesome.
We can't all have a Lashandria in our pockets. I'm just saying. I mean, I can, but you always can't. So her voice just, I agree. Her voice just makes you want to become calm and to relax. And
well, thank you all so much for participating with me today in this activity and this session. I'm so glad that many of you, it has rejuvenated you and reset you and helped you to feel a lot better. I can see that many of you are already using movement and calming and restoring activities in your classroom. And I just want to encourage you to keep doing that. And yes, and use it in your personal life as well. So at this time, we are going to go into 3 breakout rooms, and there will be fellows in your room, but it may take a few seconds for them to get there. And again, thank you all for participating, and we'll see you in the breakout rooms.